Hytale will officially release on January 13th, 2026. That is confirmed, it's locked in, it's happening. After 7 years of waiting for this game, we'll finally be able to play it in just under 50 days. Simon said, "Let me break it to you and reset expectations. The acquisition took just long enough to prevent us from doing a release before the holidays. That's why it took us so long to announce the date. We tried to push as hard as we could, but legally there is just too much for us to do, and we would have been cutting it too close to Christmas." This is totally understandable. Of course, many of us were hoping for a December release, but the fact that we've come so far from cancellation to getting any fixed release date in less than 6 months is a remarkable achievement. This also provides a bit more time for the team to perfect things based on all of our feedback that we've given them over the last 2 weeks. Quote, "A lot is still in the works. We've had the game on our computers for barely 10 days. They were actually remote accessing Riot computers up until then. To give some context, we received the final game files and documents yesterday, and we still need to finish the legal content for the release. You can't launch a game without a terms of service or end user licensing agreement, so we are pouring hundreds of thousands of dollars into legal work to expedite this. Given that we want to let players modify our game, it requires some custom work to make sure we get it all right. Solidifying this date is a huge milestone, but they do remind us this isn't all they have to do either. Quote, "It's a lot of work on several fronts, and the leadership team is taking no days off to make sure we don't lose any time. We're on the clock to earn the players' trust and show how quickly we can turn things around. Keep in mind that this version of the game has never undergone proper testing, so we are finding all sorts of crazy bugs, but none of that matters for release. We have been very clear publicly that we're shipping something unfinished and will continue to do so. With warnings on the website, in-game, and social media, we will be okay with negative criticism." Honestly, Simon has taken this brash but transparent approach ever since announcing his efforts to get Hytale back. He is unafraid of criticism because that's what's fueling the team's list of priorities right now. This is the definition of iterative development. It's fast, it's adaptive, and most importantly, responsive to player critique and suggestions. Simon says, "On top of the game itself, we've had to build an entire new website backend, launcher, authentication system, patching, and a lot more in the last few weeks. We've cleaned up a lot of the code and assets, merged hundreds of branches, and refactored the critical parts we wanted to get done on time. The good news is, on that front, we are feeling great about the release. It has been an incredible engineering challenge. From this point, the timeline is set. We're going to continue to get daily images and videos showcasing all sorts of systems and in-game areas as they are finalized. There's been several teasers of a big world generation blog post that's coming too. I'm guessing we'll see that sometime next week, where they'll likely provide even more footage and examples of how the base world generates, including how we can customize those settings to vary the generation, the biomes, and the structures that appear, or even make the world infinite. You will be able to pre-order Hytale very soon after that. Simon said, "I'll have pre-orders going before Christmas. Not sure if I can get gifting working in time. I'll do my best to see what's possible." The price is set at $20 for one copy of Hytale, but Simon did confirm the higher tiers of $35 and $70 will provide exclusive cosmetics. They will also continue to receive exclusives throughout early access as a token of gratitude. You also don't need to worry too much if you can't afford those higher tiers just yet, as all the packages come with only one copy of the game, and again, Simon said he'll work on gifting in future. You can also upgrade later by paying the difference, so you can actually go from the standard to supporter edition and the supporter to Cursebreaker edition whenever you like. Username reservation will likely also drop at the same time as pre-orders. Reminder, usernames are unique, and this service will only be open to people who do pre-order the game, so that all the names don't just get taken up quickly. This is actually going to be great for people who already have known or existing usernames on social media or on other platforms. In this timeline, I can also officially announce that Hytale Thankmas will be going ahead on December 13th. That's our annual charity livestream where the community showcases fan animations, videos, art, custom minigames, and much more. The team always make a point of showing up. They have done for the last 5 years. We've even had some exclusive reveals and interviews in the past, so make sure not to miss this one. That's December 13th here on the channel. Again, with this date, the team will benefit from the extra time. They've already upgraded and fixed so much, as we've seen in the over 45 minutes of gameplay that was uploaded this month. Another month of work is now going in to ensure more in the game, more of a prepared roadmap for Simon and the team, plus, for us, a lot more fun dissecting social media posts throughout December. I'm not going to complain about that. I mean, practically every day we're getting in-game images. The team has not slowed down, posting new content to the point I have 6 new images to break down. We really are eating out here. Posted on Thanksgiving, we see a shot of the autumnal forest. We see a turkey mob, a pumpkin, and Zoro? Lost again, I see. I'm pretty sure you should be helping Luffy in the final saga right now. Simon said, quote, "In order to not break our daily streak of new content, here is a turkey. Happy Thanksgiving." The next image was then in response to people questioning the water physics in the creative mode gameplay we just saw a few days ago. Simon confirms that water flow does work, it just gets turned off when you're in that creative mode, and that they'll consider adding a toggle in future. In the image, he then showcases the current water physics that they have. I'm sure this is going to get many updates and improvements over time, but take it for what it is right now. We also got a screenshot in the Discord showcasing the user interface for an anvil. When using an anvil, it shows a different tab to upgrade each weapon. Seemingly, you don't throw away old tools in Hytale, you combine them with additional items you get as you progress to upgrade through the tiers. Here we see a mithril sword, weapon rarity tiers we see are also back in the game, and the recipe for this sword is the thing I find most interesting. Mithril ingots, fair enough, but storm leather and void hearts? This is almost certainly a tease to the additional zones we're yet to see, Zone 5, which is based around the element of lightning, and Zone 6, which we believe to be based around the alien element of void. For now, Simon says these materials may be found when you travel through portals or dungeons. We also see here that anvils will have tiers, meaning you'll need to upgrade and progress your workbenches as you continue to play. The next image features a swamp biome we've seen a number of times, but two very interesting details to note here. First and foremost is the Kweebec settlement or treehouse we see in the distance. We've actually caught this a few times before, this screenshot being one example. The second detail is the snake over here in the forefront of the image. Not the snake itself, as we've seen a few of these in Hytale before. What's more interesting here is the tail or body of the snake, which is sunk a few pixels into the ground. When asked whether this was a glitch or a feature, Simon actually confirmed that entities will naturally sink into mud blocks, which probably will be tedious for some, maybe even players, but beneficial to mobs like snakes, who will likely be more camouflaged when approaching the player, meaning we will have to keep our eyes out when exploring environments like this. We get another look at mining here, with a cave lit up by all sorts of glowing gems, plants, and ores. We still don't know much about mining, but more and more details are being revealed every day. It won't be a forgotten or boring experience, that's for sure. This shot was actually taken by one of their playtesters. We know internal playtesting is now happening on Hytale as we speak. Over 60 people hard at work finding bugs. To be clear, for any of the conspiracy theorists out there, this doesn't include people like myself. If you were curious, this is Simon's team and likely members of the Hypixel server team as well. For the next image, Simon said, "Tested Hytale exploration mode game loop this morning for 2 hours. No crashes, lots of fun moments, still lots of work ahead to make it good, focusing on small wins at the moment for fast development." He said the Outlanders were actually too strong for him, showing a map of a large Outlander settlement or village which has multiple death icons. We can also see a house icon. I asked if this maybe meant a spawn point, and he basically confirmed it by saying he slept in their beds before terrorizing them. Wonderful. Simon once again showing us that chaotic neutral personality he has. He also clarified a number of early access features too over the last few days. Zone 4 will 100% return for early access, but as far as Zone 5 and 6, Simon said they kinda don't exist at the moment. They got nuked years ago. We'll probably revisit them using new world gen that will be shown in a blog post coming up soon. When asked would the game have seasons at all, Simon said there's a warmer south and a colder north on the starting continent, confirming that at least exploration mode before any bigger updates will take place on a fixed continent. He said that temperature doesn't affect farming for now. He actually expanded this on one post. He said, "In Hytale, if you're a cozy player who enjoys farming, building a cute home, caring for animals, cooking, and simply wants to escape the real world, we've got you covered. We're now assembling a dedicated team focused entirely on bringing this vibe to life and creating a living world filled with warmth, charm, and good vibes." Speaking of good vibes and making your own home, we saw a lot of workstations this week, including a cooking station which has been teased several times, but weirdly enough, we still see no signs of a hunger bar. Simon clarified this. He said, "Food can be way more interesting than a simple hunger system. In the long term, we'll explore mixing ingredients for food that gives you unique buffs, use activity-based meals like a mining stew for faster swings, prep combat meals, feed NPC villages, get a quality system tied with bonuses, or build a food mastery." He says extra food isn't wasted, especially when it fuels buffs, NPC exchange, or even NPC reputation. Another confirmation here that reputation is back on the table. There are tons of ways to avoid hunger mechanics, he says. Not saying no to hunger ever, but I would like to explore some more ideas first. At the moment, it works more like a buff mechanic, a bit like Valheim with stamina and HP maximums, with regen buffs that happen over time. Then, when asked about the underground cave systems, whether they'll be generic or have more to explore, Simon answered, "There'll be some crypts, abandoned mines, natural caves, and others that lead you down. You don't need to dig straight down, you just walk around and find an interesting place to start your journey. With the future of World Gen, this gets much better. We will show some examples of that in the next couple of days. As we wait for those next couple of days, and now that we have a release date, I can't believe I'm saying those words again still, expect content on this channel almost every day as we prepare to jump, at long last, into Hytale. Finished or not. Check the video on the screen to get more information about Hytale. Make sure to subscribe to get notified about all Hytale news. Stay safe and keep free.